Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lana, and today we're talking about how you can achieve your most ambitious goals. So maybe you're feeling a little stuck on your big project, or you have this big dream and you want to know how you can actually start doing it practically. This video is for you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. So glad you're here. Don't forget to subscribe if you need more content in your life about simplifying home and money. First, dream big. Dream obnoxiously big. Don't discount your dream or your idea. For you to get something big done or accomplish something big, it has to be a little ridiculous sometimes. I'm reading this book called High Performance Habits, and one of the things he tells his clients is, people have flown to the moon and done all these other amazing things. So you don't have to dream super small to actually get it done. Next tip is ask yourself every day, how can I? This sends your brain into fix-it mode so you can figure out what it would take to make it happen. Don't let those limiting thoughts cut you off and keep you from doing the things that you want to do. Use your brain's power and your brain's ability to solve problems to fix the problems that are important to you. So I know this is an insignificant problem in the scheme of things, but my latest problem is, how can we have a Disney vacation in the next 2 years? So every day I am scheming about how we can make it happen. So the first thing that my brain figured out is that if we go to Disneyland instead of Disney World, it will make it a lot more affordable. So I've already lowered the cost by a couple $1,000s by letting my brain figure out that problem. So now I'm on to the next problem. How can we save on airfare? How can we save on tickets? How can we save on food? How can we save on the housing part, or go in with people, or whatever it is, or how far in advance should we book? My brain is figuring out the problem and making it work and making it happen. I'm keeping myself from those thoughts of, it's too expensive, we can't do it, we can't figure this out, because that would stop my brain from working, and then my brain could not figure out the cool things that it has. So we don't want to cut off the idea machine and the problem-solving machine by saying, I can't. Banish that from your vocabulary and ask yourself every day, how can I? How can I step one step closer to my goal? Think obstacles or hurdles instead of roadblocks. When I think of a roadblock, I'm imagining this huge rock, you can't get around it, you can't climb over it, there's nothing you can do to solve the problem or remedy anything. It's just over. You might as well turn around and go the other way. But if you think of the things that aren't so great that come up as obstacles that you could sidestep, or hurdles that you could jump over, you can figure out how to solve them. Then you can start a mental list or even a paper list of I did it even though list. These are the things I had to overcome, and in a way it makes your journey even more powerful. When you have to overcome so many roadblocks to reach the final goal, it's so much more impressive when you get there. So one of my big goals was to finish my bachelor's in music education, and I did it, but I have a long list of I did it even though I was not more talented than anybody else. I did it even though I have so many food allergies. Every time we went on a trip, I had to bring my own cooler. I did it even though I almost failed theory and had to spend 5 hours a day working on it to even pass the class. So seeing the things that get in your way as an opportunity to be creative or clever or have something that you have overcome, instead of like, it's over, I can't do it because I'm a mom. I can't do it because I don't have enough money. I can't do it because I'm not clever enough, or I'm not talented enough. See those as obstacles to overcome that you can learn about or figure out how to be clever and work around. My next tip is to have a long-term realistic timeline. Very few of us experience overnight success or instant fame, so counting on that as an indicator of us being successful at our goals is probably not the wisest idea. For me, my latest goal is to do YouTube, and I understand that this is not an instantaneous process, and this is going to build very, very slowly, especially at the beginning, but I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to try my absolute hardest on YouTube for 2 years. After those 2 years, then I can evaluate if this worked for my family and our life and my personal goals, and if it was of use to other people, and then reevaluate at that time. But I'm not saying I'm gonna do this for 3 months and if it doesn't work, it's over. I'm not expecting instant success. If it happens, I'll take it, but I am not expecting this to be a work-free journey. I'm expecting to work very hard for an extended amount of time and then evaluate what my success is really looking like. So perhaps your dream is to write a book. Coming up with a reasonable timeline for what that could look like and how much you could reasonably get done with what your life is really like could be very valuable in you actually getting it done. So if you know you can have a 4-hour-a-day time commitment to your book, perhaps you could write the book in 6 months, or perhaps if you know that you only have like 4 hours a week to work on your book seriously, be like, okay, it's probably gonna take me a year. So I need a long-term view that will actually get this project done. My last tip is to push for 1% better. So I don't know if I learned this from Essentialism or The One Thing, or I can't exactly place it. The main idea is that you're always improving, but you're not improving by leaps and bounds, you're improving by 1%. If you are trying to be a better teacher, just like I am trying to be a better teacher at every single lesson. I am trying to be a better teacher to that particular student every single week. How can I be better than I was last week? Not how can I revolutionize my entire teaching method this week, but how can I be just a little bit better than I was before? For me, I'm working on my YouTube craft at the moment, so I am trying to have each video be 1% better than the last one. What can I improve from this video that I didn't have in the last video? How can I talk more efficiently? How can I get my point across a little bit better? How can I make a better outline or a better thumbnail or something that's just a little bit extra? This makes getting better accessible, because if I ask you to improve 50% in the next week, that's an impossible goal. But thinking about tweaking one thing and making one thing just a little bit better is totally reachable. Just like it would be unrealistic for your running coach to ask you to take a minute off your mile time this week. This is the same concept, but perhaps you could take 10 seconds off your mile time, or 2 seconds off your mile time, or something small. And if you keep doing that and you keep getting better in those small increments, before you know it, it will really start to add up and you will have gotten so much better. So if you really want to see the progress of what perhaps 1% a video really looks like, go ahead and go back to my first embarrassing videos and see how I have progressed. Have I gotten better during each video? Because that's definitely been my goal, and I feel like I have come so far from the first video. And that was not because I magically got better in one day. It's because I learned one new skill. Then I learned how to edit a little bit better. Then I tried something else. If you just look at the product that people produce in the end, you'll just be like amazed. They're just naturals. They've just got this all together. They know what they're doing. But we really have to look at the progress over time to see what it was really like to get better. This is just like learning a musical instrument. Day one, it is not a pretty adventure. And if you only go to the recitals once a year or whatever, you're like, whoa, they've gotten so much better. But really the progress was made one day at a time, one note at a time, one practice session at a time. Also, give yourself a break. When you look back at the old things that you have produced, they're probably gonna be a little less quality, but remember that you can only be as good as you know how right now. When I was in college studying the violin, I was always frustrated that other people were better than me, or it just seemed to come easier to them, or I didn't understand. But it really helped me to remind myself that I can only be as good as I know how today. You only have a certain amount of information today, you only have a certain amount of skills today, and you can use all that as best you can, but you can't be better than that. So while you're pushing forward, don't give yourself a hard time because you don't have 20 books under your belt, or you haven't filmed 500 videos. You can only do the best with what you have right now. Let me know down in the comments what helps you achieve your big ambitious goals. As always, help this video out by hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye for now.